Are you tired of sleepless nights, constant anxiety, and overthinking everything? You know that feeling, right? Your stomach is in knots, you can't turn your brain off, and you just feel exhausted, but you can't stop worrying. Well, guess what? You are not alone. Millions of people struggle with worry and anxiety, but there is a way to break free, and it all starts with a book. Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, might just be the answer you need. In this video, I'm going to break down the key takeaways from Carnegie's masterpiece. And trust me, these insights have the power to change your life. Let's do this. Open your mind for a second. Imagine your life as a ship. Now picture this ship with separate sealed compartments. That's the key, you see, because in those compartments are your worries. The worries from yesterday, the anxieties about tomorrow. Now imagine this, each compartment is sealed off, watertight. The past can't leak into the present and the future can't flood your mind right now. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you could let go of the weight of the past and the anxiety of the future. That's the power of living in day-tight compartments. Okay, let's get real. Life is full of challenges and uncertainties. We can't just magically erase all worry. It's a part of being human. Some things are worth our attention. They demand our focus and energy. But most things, not a chance. They just clutter our minds. And that's where Carnegie's 3-step formula comes in. It's a method to declutter your mind. It's brilliant, really, because it forces you to face your fears head-on and then create a plan of attack. It's about taking control. Step 1. What's the absolute worst that could happen in this situation? Think about it deeply. And I mean the worst. Don't sugarcoat it. Be brutally honest with yourself. Step 2. Alright, now that you're staring that nightmare scenario in the face, I need you to accept it. Embrace the possibility. Mentally prepare yourself to handle that worst-case scenario. Visualize it. It's not about giving up, it's about taking away its power. You're reclaiming your strength. Step 3. This is where you fight back. This is your action phase. With the worst-case scenario firmly in mind, start brainstorming ways to improve upon it. Think of every possible solution. What steps can you take to prevent it from happening? What's your plan B, and even plan C? Let me give you an example. This will make it clearer. Let's say you have to give a big presentation at work. It's a high-stakes situation. You're terrified of freezing up or completely bombing it. The fear is real, so you use the formula. You think about the worst-case scenario, accept it, and then plan how to avoid it. Ever notice how worry has a way of creeping in when you have too much time on your hands? It's like an uninvited guest that shows up when you're least prepared. It's like our minds are these fertile fields just waiting for a seed of doubt to take root and grow into a monster weed of anxiety. The more idle time we have, the more room there is for these weeds to flourish. Well, Carnegie was onto something when he said that a busy mind leaves little room for worry. His wisdom still holds true today. Think about it. When you're fully engaged in something, whether it's a challenging work project, a creative hobby, or even a simple task that requires your full attention, or even just a really good book, your mind becomes absorbed in the activity. Your mind doesn't have the bandwidth to entertain those negative thoughts. It's too preoccupied with the task at hand. It's too busy focusing on the task at hand. This focus acts as a shield, protecting you from the invasive thoughts that try to creep in. So how do we combat this tendency to overthink? We get busy. We fill our time with meaningful activities. Find activities that light you up, that make you feel productive and accomplished. These activities can be anything that brings you joy and satisfaction, that make you feel productive and accomplished. The sense of achievement can be incredibly uplifting. Maybe it's volunteering for a cause you believe in, learning a new skill, or engaging in community activities that make a difference. Or, finally, tackling that home improvement project you've been putting off. These tasks can provide a sense of purpose and direction. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be something monumental. Even the smallest tasks can have a big impact on your mental state. Even small acts of productivity can make a big difference. Checking off items from your to-do list can bring a sense of accomplishment. The key is to keep your mind engaged and focused on something positive. By doing so, you create a mental environment where worry has no room to grow. Chapter 4. The Art of Letting Go. Accepting what you can't change. Here's a hard truth. We waste so much time and energy stressing about things that are completely out of our control. The weather, traffic, the past. It's like trying to swim against a rip current. You're just exhausting yourself and getting nowhere. Carnegie had this incredible concept. Cooperate with the inevitable. Think about it. What's the point of fighting a battle you can't win? Instead of resisting what is, what if we chose to accept it? I know, it's not always easy. But trust me, learning to distinguish between what you can control and what you can't is liberating. It's about shifting your focus from fighting reality to navigating it with grace and resilience. Let's say you make a mistake at work. You can beat yourself up about it, replaying the scenario over and over in your head. But how does that help? It doesn't. Instead, acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move on. Chapter 5. Choose positivity. Our thoughts are powerful. They shape our feelings, our actions, and ultimately, our reality. If we constantly dwell on negativity, we're going to create a life filled with it. But if we choose to focus on the positive, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Carnegie was adamant about the importance of cultivating a positive attitude. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about making a conscious choice to focus on the good, to find the silver lining, and to approach challenges with hope and optimism. So how do we shift our perspective? It starts with becoming aware of our thoughts. Pay attention to that inner voice. Is it critical, judgmental, and pessimistic, or is it encouraging, supportive, and hopeful? If you find that your inner dialogue is stuck on repeat with negative self-talk, it's time to hit the pause button and reprogram it. Start by replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Chapter 6. Silence your inner critic. Let's talk about that inner voice again, the one that's constantly criticizing and second-guessing you. You know the one. It's that nagging voice that seems to pop up at the worst times, making you doubt your every move. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or thin enough. It's relentless and can be incredibly convincing, making you feel small and insignificant. It's the voice that keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. It's like a broken record playing the same negative messages over and over again. Well, guess what? It's time to silence that critic. It's time to take control and change the narrative in your head. It's time to stop listening to that negative self-talk that's holding you back from living your best life. Imagine the freedom and joy you could experience without that constant negativity. Carnegie believed that one of the keys to happiness and success was to stop criticizing ourselves and start focusing on our strengths. He knew that self-compassion and self-acceptance were crucial for personal growth. Instead of dwelling on our flaws and mistakes, what if we chose to celebrate our accomplishments and appreciate our unique qualities? What if we focused on what makes us special and valuable? Now, this doesn't mean we become arrogant or delusional. It's about finding a healthy balance between humility and self-confidence. It's about recognizing our worth and giving ourselves permission to shine. It's about embracing who we are and what we have to offer. So, how do we do this? How do we start silencing that inner critic and nurturing a more positive inner voice? One powerful exercise is to make a list of your strengths. Take some time to reflect on what you're good at and what you've achieved. What are you good at? What skills and talents do you possess that make you unique? What do you enjoy doing? What activities bring you joy and fulfillment? What makes you feel proud? Write it all down. Keep this list handy, and refer to it whenever that inner critic starts to rear its ugly head. Chapter 7. Breathe and unwind. The importance of relaxation. In today's fast-paced world, we often wear our busyness as a badge of honor. We glorify the hustle, the grind, the never-ending to-do lists. But here's the thing, constant worry and stress take a toll on our physical and mental health. It's like driving a car with the emergency brake on. Eventually, something's gotta give. Carnegie understood that relaxation is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Taking time to unwind and recharge is essential for managing worry and maintaining a healthy mind-body connection. It's about giving yourself permission to slow down, breathe, and simply be. Now, relaxation looks different for everyone. Maybe it's taking a long bath, reading a good book, or spending time in nature. Or perhaps it's practicing yoga, meditation, or deep breathing exercises. The key is to find what works for you and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Remember, taking time for relaxation is not selfish, it's self-care. Chapter 8. Stop worrying, start living. Your time starts now. Think about all the time and energy you've wasted worrying about things that never happened. Worrying about things you can't control. Worrying about things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's exhausting, isn't it? Carnegie reminds us that today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Let that sink in for a moment. All that worry, all that anxiety, and for what? The truth is, life is too short to spend it trapped in a cycle of worry. You deserve to experience joy, peace, and fulfillment. You deserve to live a life that's aligned with your values and aspirations. But here's the catch. It's up to you to make it happen. No one else can do it for you. So, there you have it, the key takeaways from Dale Carnegie's life-changing book. Remember to live in the present moment, analyze your worries, stay busy, accept the inevitable, cultivate a positive attitude, silence your inner critic, prioritize relaxation, and most importantly, value your time and energy. I know it's a lot to take in, but you don't have to do it all at once. Pick one strategy that resonates with you and start implementing it today. Even small changes can make a big difference over time. And if you want to dive deeper into these principles and really transform your relationship with worry, I highly recommend reading How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. It's a book that has the power to change your life. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. See you in the next video.